If you catch somebody, whether stealing something of yours or whatever the case might be, government has been telling the population, take those people to police. Don't beat them up. And on that regard, I agree with government. So why doesn't government do the same thing it tells people to do? We need to stop preaching water and yet we drink wine. If you're telling people, if you catch somebody, they've stolen your money, your whatever, take to police, please don't beat. Why isn't government doing the same? If you assume that somebody has broken the law, produce them in court. It's now been 4 days, Mr. Speaker. We don't know where Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi is, and we do hear, I've seen some pictures on social media, I don't know if they are authentic. Bruises, blood, I don't know. And the only way that can be cleared is when we get to know where he is. Mr. Speaker, you see, we were here in September of 2021. Again, some who are saying it's because of what he said. Honorable Segirinya Muhammad and Honorable Alan Sewanyana were granted bail by court. As they were getting out of Kigo prison, outside the gates of Kigo prison, they were abducted. They had not said anything anywhere. In June of 2024, the Honorable Paul Akamba, who were here with him in the 11th Parliament, he was granted bail. He was abducted within court precincts. So the Attorney General needs to help us understand. Number one, where is Honorable Muhammad Mwanga Chivumbi? He needs to be accounted for. But number two, is this the new normal? Have we now veered off what the law does stipulate, learned Attorney General?
Thank you. I think I don't know whether I should go directly to the attorney, because there are issues beyond him. I was feeling I should go to the Right Honorable Deputy Leader of Government Business, who is leading his troops here, and he will be comfortable to pick any of the officers, of the colleagues, to support him.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I thank my brother Honorable Seyonyi for his intervention. I have heard him clearly, but for me also to be able to give you a fitting answer, I request that I return tomorrow and give you a fitting answer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Seyonyi, I don't want to be diverted beyond that, and tomorrow is not far.
Mr. Speaker, there were twofold issues. The where, we can wait for tomorrow because he probably has got to find out. It's not him who picked up the honorable member. So, yes, we hope that tomorrow we get feedback on where he is. But my second question, and that's why the learned Attorney General is here, was for the country to be guided. Is this the new normal? Because that doesn't have to wait until tomorrow. Because the Constitution is succinctly clear.
Colleagues, the Attorney General is coming on. I have an announcement. The Parliamentary Catholic Chaplaincy invites you to Holy Mass in celebration of the feast of St. Thomas More, patron saint of politicians, on the 16th of July 2026 at 5 p.m. Parliamentary Conference Hall. The main celebrant will be Right Reverend Constantine Rupini, Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese. And the invitation is by Honorable Luce Akero, woman MP Amuru. Yes, and as the Attorney General is coming also, Honorable Minister for Health, I have received today 8 questions related to the strain of malaria. Colleagues are talking about the strain of malaria, and it's coming from colleagues across, the country. So I don't know whether you will, I don't know how you would handle such an issue, because me, I brought it to your attention. Yeah? I don't know whether you want to go prepare statement or you address the nation and how people can prevent, or, And therefore, also on top of that, honorable colleagues, we shall be having the malaria walk, the annual malaria walk, as part of us giving back to the community and creating awareness against malaria on the 26th of July. And our very own, the Right Honorable Jacob Obos, will be our chief walker. You come out in big numbers. We are joined by the civil society, diplomatic community, health practitioners, and the general public, schools. We work against malaria and create awareness, the public, on how they can prevent malaria. Attorney General?
I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Leader of Opposition for his query, which I'm trying to answer as ably as I can do this moment. Mr. Speaker, the term new normal or old normal does not exist in my legal vocabulary. As far as I know, this Parliament and this country is under a dispensation of constitutionalism. And I have that constitution in my hands here. And where it regards to the liberty of every Ugandan, it is here very clear in Article 23, and I can read.
Colleagues, can I have order in the House, please?
And I can read specifically 23, Article 2, for the members of this honorable parliament. A person arrested, restricted, or detained shall be kept in a place authorized by law. That's the Constitution. A person, now sub-article 3, a person arrested, restricted, or detained shall be informed immediately in a language that the person understands of the reason of the arrest, restriction, or detention, of his or her right to a lawyer of his or her choice. A person arrested or detained, for the purpose of bringing him or her before a court in execution of the order of court. Mr. Speaker, I don't have the facts of the arrest or alleged arrest. All I know is that we are under a constitutional dispensation. And Mr. Kivumbi has these rights, and they are protected. And as the leader, government business, has indicated, tomorrow we shall be here before Parliament and give all the facts, and we shall ensure that this Constitution, which we all swore to protect, is protected. I submit, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. No, honourable colleagues, point of information and point of clarification, okay, are granted by the member holding the floor, not the speaker. Matters of national importance, honourable colleagues, I have around 17 matters, but as a tradition, I take 5. So I've looked for 5 which appear more urgent. The rest, we shall roll them over to tomorrow and Thursday. Honourable Maseruka Robert.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today I rise on a matter of urgent national importance concerning the safety of railway crossings. On July 10th, this same year, our nation mourned a tragedy that happened in Chetume, Katosi Road, where we had a collision of a bus and a train, leading to a loss of 1 teacher and very many students being injured in the same bus. Right Honourable Speaker, even when statistics show, for those that were on ground, that the cause of this was because of failure to follow traffic instructions, we cannot continue to accept these collisions as inevitable accidents. In many parts of the world, Right Honorable Speaker, railway safety is treated with absolute priority. Governments treat the railway corridor.
Honorable, these matters are for 1 minute.
Yes.
Not conclude prayers.
Thank you. I would pray, Right Honorable Speaker, to the Ministry of Works and Transport that we have integrated early warning systems, that we do not actually, that do not need to base on the amount of the noise in the vehicles that are being used. We need physical infrastructure control that should be placed on these roads. We need public awareness and enforcement. Right Honorable Speaker, safety is shared responsibility. We must launch vigorous national campaign to educate drivers, especially those in public service, on the lethal reality of railway crossings. We must empower traffic police to enforce strict penalties for any driver who ignores railway safety protocols. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, the students that were involved in this recent tragedy are our country's future. The lives and the life of the teacher should not have been endangered by crossing that lacked basic protection. I urge this House to support a directive requiring an immediate safety audit of all railway crossings across the country and the allocation of the necessary resources to modernize them. We must act today so that no more families have to endure the pain of such preventable loss. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, the language of directives is not for us here. Okay, how do I direct people I don't appoint and I don't supervise? That's why you again come, you say, you issued a directive, it wasn't implemented, but I don't have a capacity to say, okay, I fire you. I think we've been working as colleagues. Whenever we say a minister, we request a minister, I see them responding. Okay, I think that's a more humble language. Right Honorable, that video went viral. I know there's a minister for traffic, for internal affairs, but it is mainly to do with what Honorable Maseruka is raising. When the train is crossing, we should block the roads. Simple, not a traffic person going and, you know, I don't know what you can say about that issue of all railway crossings in the country being protected so that we don't lose more people.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this matter has been deeply discussed in Cabinet. We share this concern and the government is taking steps to rectify this situation.
So Right Honorable, we can, okay, let the matter be followed up by the Committee on Physical Infrastructure as it's doing its work. And then they report on the floor. Honorable Tuijuchire Boaz.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on a matter of urgent importance regarding the critical collapse of Rotondo Bridge, which was completely washed away by rains. This road is the only sole transport that we have that links Ruirizi district to Ibanda. So this infrastructure has completely brought everything to a standstill, even stopping hundreds of children accessing their school. So I urge the Ministry of Transport and Works to at least put a modular bridge to restore the connectivity. I thank you.
Right Honorable. If I don't see someone from Works, I would have helped you right away.
The concern by the colleague, the Honourable Member of Parliament, is noted, but my colleague, the Minister of Transport, is not here. We commit to provide an answer tomorrow.
Yeah, I would just take action. Okay? You don't need to come back and report here. Let the Minister link up with the colleague and we see how we can help the people of Rubirizi. Honorable Gwa Benson.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Benson Lugwa, a member of Parliament for Agago North. The Right Honorable Speaker, for the last 1 week, more than 200 elephants has invaded into my constituency, from the sub-county of Omia Pachwa up to Lirakato. So these elephants does not only disturb the people of Agago North, but it is stretched from Kitsgum, Agago, Kabong, Karenga, and right now as I speak, the Right Honorable Speaker, you will not find any crops in the garden amidst the sunshine. I would really love to request the Minister of Wildlife Authority to kindly help and guide in the process, because we have seen many game parks in different areas like Massation Fall, but roads has been constructed and live wires has been put to stop the elephant from crossing into the people's garden. Had it been the elephant only destroy crops, that would be much more better. But also people losing their life in the hand of wildlife, it's very, very distressing, the Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to request, however much, even if only 2 or 3 elephants, they are doing destructive activity which is not allowed by the community. I beg to submit. Thank you so much.
Right Honorable. I'm sorry we are making our elder move up and down, but he's doing a great job.
My brother, the Honourable Member of Parliament, who has raised the question, first I want to inform you that I'm in the same boat like yourself.
And me.
And the Right Honourable Speaker. Yeah. From time to time, we who border national parks, we do get those inconveniences and sometimes fatalities. 2 things are happening. Number one, there is a national program to ensure that in the shortest time possible, all areas which border national parks and game reserves will be protected by the electric wire. But secondly, where those accidents happen, we require documentation witnessed by the local leadership and the police so that due compensation is paid to the victims. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
So, the Committee on Trade and Tourism, this is one of the issues we should be following up. Honourable Court and Honourable Yeku, these are very, very critical issues. We should. Honourable Karuya. Okay.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, my issue was still on the issue of malaria, but in your communication, you have guided well.
No, I need you to raise it.
Okay. Yeah, during the time of Prime Minister's time, I raised the issue about the malaria strain that is affecting our children, especially below the age of 15. And the minister then talked about it and said they discovered this strain 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. But Right Honourable Speaker, the issue that is at hand seems to keep the community in disarray. That even the schools are really not handling the issue of treatment very well. So my humble prayer is, let the Ministry of Health, together with the Ministry of Education, at least emphasize on the issues of sick bays, on the issue of having nurses in schools, and on the issue of parents at least advising the schools about the health of their children. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Minister for Health.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for raising the issue which you had also raised in your communication. Malaria remains a big contributor to the national burden of disease in Uganda. And actually Uganda contributes it's the third in terms of contributing to the burden globally. And although we have had several interventions to address this challenge, it remains real. So what he's raising is real. The studies we have carried out show that the parasite prevalence among Ugandans has substantially declined from 43% in 2009 now to 13%, meaning that the interventions have been working, but usually we experience seasonal surges in infections, especially between the months of May and July, and then September to November. So the Ministry of Health is alive to this fact that there has been a surge in the malaria infections, and our malaria control program, working with the school health program, have mounted a big campaign and response, also targeting schools. But since it's a big issue, I beg that you give me time. I have instructed the team in the Ministry of Health to work 24/7. And tomorrow, when we convene, I come with a comprehensive paper outlining the interventions which we are pursuing, both the school system but also in the country, so that we highlight the way government is responding to this challenge of malaria. So tomorrow, I will be ready in the afternoon to give a comprehensive report to Parliament.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that would also help to guide the nation, to guide the members of the public.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Next item. Procedure, Honorable Sir Kabira. Is it procedure? Sir Kabira, is it procedure?
That's right, Honorable Speaker. Yeah. Under Rule 8, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, 3 weeks ago, the leader of opposition raised a matter concerning medical interns. The same was raised last Thursday, and I'm glad the minister is here. He had committed that today he will present a policy by government on the interventions that are undertaken to make sure that our medical interns are catered for. I am glad 2 days ago I saw him in Mbarara General Referral Hospital, where he found 2 medical interns covering the ICU. May it please you to ask the minister to give us the developments from cabinet on the placement of medical interns. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, do you have any update for the House?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, and the Honourable Member for raising the issue. Internship, in this sense, means a medical student pursuing a degree in medicine or dental surgery or even a pharmacist or nursing, completes the university education, graduates, and then before you are issued a practicing license, you undergo apprenticeship or internship for 1 year under supervision. And it's a practice in the medical profession. So a policy, and the government has been facilitating interns with a modest allowance to enable the interns survive as they do internship. It's usually done for 1 year. A policy was passed to review the issue of internship, and the cabinet made the following decision. There is a policy which was sponsored by the Ministry of Education and Sports on health training, and it was passed as follows: that internship be considered as part of training, and in that respect, that if you have been government sponsored, government continues to sponsor you when you are doing internship, and if you have been on private sponsorship, then you continue in private sponsorship during internship. There have been mixed reactions, and I know this matter was raised by the leader of the opposition, and just hold on. Just hold on, I will allow you, but let me first complete this sentence. And the Right Honorable Prime Minister and Her Excellency the Vice President made a commitment, and indeed we are relooking at that policy measure. I am drafting a cabinet paper to take back to cabinet so that we look at that decision again. And I think the concerns are genuine, because internship, much as you are under training, but you are also providing a service. So I want to request Parliament to be patient, because this is a matter which was canvassed in the cabinet. I cannot singularly reverse the position, so you give me time at the earliest. Once cabinet has put me on the agenda, I will present a paper, and then once the decision is taken, I will come back and brief Parliament on the matter.
Thank you. I'll allow you only one.
Minister?
Honourable Minister, I'll allow you only one if you want.
I also want you to clarify on the issue of the...
Honourable Minister, whom did you allow? I just want to know.
He allowed me. I'm the one who raised it the other time.
Honourable, please, that's not how we do. Whom did you allow? No, it's not a matter of grabbing the microphone.
I beg that you allow the two. We allow the two, because I am trained to be very humble to ladies.
Thank you so much.
Maybe.
Thank you.
And men are known for grabbing from women.
As long as they are brief.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, your response where you stated that there has been a cabinet decision that interns be treated like interns be treated like they are on a training. Truly, they are on a training. But Right Honourable Speaker, the clarification I'm seeking from the Minister is that sounds like there's a policy shift or change, if I may call it. And I think it would be prudent that you the Minister, comes with that policy shift or change, and we also debate it perhaps. That is the clarification I'm seeking. Is there a policy shift, or it is just a cabinet decision? But I think it tantamounts to a policy shift.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, I want to bring it to your attention that in the 2024-25 cohort and 2025-2026 cohort, there are some interns who are not paid. These are the clinical officers who are doing the internship. Because this is not the same as their salary, this is just an allowance, but they are around 300. And secondly, the senior house officers. You know, we have a challenge that our doctor to patient ratio is 1 to 25,000, which is far big number compared to the international number of 1 to 1,000 of WHO Health Organization. I need your clarification on that. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
I think most of these issues, Right Honourable Speaker, will be answered when I bring a comprehensive statement. I have just said that I am preparing a paper for Cabinet to look at that policy decision. And maybe I can add that what is causing this is that initially we had Makerere Medical School being the only university training doctors. But because of the policy on liberalizing tertiary education, tertiary and university education, we now have many universities training doctors, both public and private, and therefore the numbers have grown. So we are discussing this with the Ministry of Education to even look at how we guide the universities on the numbers, how many train for the medical profession, and I will capture all these when I bring the paper. Yes, there are issues of payments, and there are lots of reforms we are proposing within the ministry, and that's why you see me working day and night, even visiting hospitals at the night to check the reality on the ground. And I will be bringing papers here seeking support of Parliament, because like one of the challenges we have in the health sector is the staffing. When I went to Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital, the director told me the staffing level is at 26% of the hospital. So there are all those challenges, and I want your collective support as Parliament, that we work together and see how to strengthen the health sector.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Kujizibwe Lawrence. Honourable Kujizibwe Lawrence.
I would have allowed, but the Speaker is pressured by time.
Honourable Kujizibwe Lawrence.
But I will be available to answer your issues bilaterally.
No, Honourable Minister, leave my microphone alone. No, Honourable colleague, the Minister is bringing a comprehensive statement. Okay? So, no, but based on what? That's anticipation, you see? Colleague, these are your rules. Then, if you say you want to give information when it's bringing a statement, then how will you debate? Okay? So please, Honourable colleagues, please, wait for the statements from the Minister. Honourable Kujizibwe Lawrence.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I raise on a matter of national importance regarding ez'enjawulo sugar factory that is polluting our water by pouring the factory waste into River Nyabikoni. This river runs through 3 sub-counties of Nyankwanzi, Mabera and Chamtunzi, and it also pours the water into River Mzizi, which also pours the water into Lake Albert. So aquatic life is affected, people's animals have been affected. There is a farmer who has lost 100 birds because of consuming that water, because these people don't have a soak pit to dispose of their waste. So my prayer is to the Minister of Water and Environment to compel this factory to have their own soak pit within their factory so that our people can be safe and use the water for domestic activities. I thank you, sir.
Honourable Minister for Industry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honourable colleague, for the information and the query. Mr. Speaker, we received this information a few days ago, and we are working with the Ministry of Water and Environment, and our staff will be at the factory tomorrow to see how best we can resolve it. So tomorrow, our staff will be at the factory together with the Minister of Environment to see how best we can sort it out.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 3 on the other paper, laying of papers. 1, Petroleum Fund Annual Report for the period ended 31st December 2025.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Section 59(1)(b) of the Public Finance Management Act, I beg to lay on the table the Petroleum Fund Semi-Annual Report for the period ended 31st December 2025. I beg to lay, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The report is referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development for processing and reporting back.
Item 3.2, request for parliamentary approval to waive off outstanding pay arrears for Akora Western University amounting to Uganda shillings 1,026,336,706.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to section 43(2) of the Tax Procedures Code Act, I beg to lay on the table the waiver of outstanding payers and arrears for Ankole Western University amounting to Uganda shillings 1.026 billion. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The request is referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development for processing and reporting back.
Item 3.3, request for parliamentary approval to waive of outstanding tax arrears for Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation amounting to Uganda shillings 13,954,269,455.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker and colleagues, pursuant to section 43(2) of the Tax Procedures Code Act, Cap 343, I beg to lay on table the waiver of outstanding tax arrears for Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation amounting to Uganda shillings 13.954 billion. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The request is referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development for processing and reporting back.
Item 3.4.
Honourable colleague, clarification is for a member holding the floor. There is no one.
Right, Honourable.
Honourable colleague, those
I
are your
requested when the member was still here.
Please, there is no one on the floor. And honourable colleagues, allow me to guide you. Point of information, point of clarification, they are granted by the member holding the floor. And that member can accept or reject. It's not mandatory. So if a member was on the floor and he declined, it's not my problem. Though we request them to always be generous. Honourable, okay? So continue. Honourable.
Item 3.4, request for parliamentary approval to waive off outstanding tax arrears for K-Roma amounting to Uganda shillings 1,864,329,231.
Honourable Minister.
Right, Honourable Speaker, pursuant to section 43(2) of the Tax Procedures Code Act, Cap 343, I beg to lay on table the waiver of outstanding tax arrears for K-Roma amounting to Uganda shillings 1.864 billion. I beg to lay.
Next, yes. Yes, Ampe has referred to.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The request is referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development for processing. Procedure,
Item 3.
Procedure, Honourable Songo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for granting me this chance for the procedure matter. Yes, I thank the Minister for Finance bringing those 3 entities which need the tax waiver. But in the public, those who are seeking for tax waiver are so many. So like a procedure, know what process does he use to determine those who qualify to come here?
But Honourable, when they bring the reports, what will you discuss? These are the issues you should be bringing to.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, senior, when you're laying papers, you don't raise procedure on laying of papers in such a matters. So let finance go to work. When they come here, you task them during the debate, okay? Where should people go if they want to be given tax waivers? No, we are laying papers. Colleagues, I found you here and I learned from you that on laying of papers, okay? On laying of papers, there is no interruption. It's just laying of papers. I rent this from the seniors in the house, including Sewungu. Yeah, you can say I'm a good student.
Item
Yes.
Item 35, request for parliamentary approval to remit taxes.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to section 40 cap 343, I beg to lay on table the request for parliamentary approval to remit taxes. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Monitoring for processing and reporting back. But, Honourable Minister, I hope you take note of the general discomfort on the issue of tax exemption. Maybe I can say the Committee of Finance, once it's handling, let them look at it and report and guide the nation on where. Maybe if you want to say something about that. Honourable Nsamba, was it related to the same? Let me first allow Honourable Nsamba, and then you can answer at once.
Thank you very much for having insisted when you had declined on what the minister presents to us here. The Auditor General approved tax waivers of 8.5. The minister has come to us here with 13.9. At this level, Right Honourable, I think it is quite important we have a discussion on matters of tax waiver so that the entire public may know who qualifies and which procedures, Right Honourable, so that it is not by a few. And Right Honourable, it is quite also important that those private companies that get our tax waivers, Right Honourable, we need also to bring them on board for audit purposes by government, so that people may know that it is not just about benefiting from government, but government must audit you, and we are able to know. But I really needed to know why Honourable Musasses can bring here a tax waiver of 13.9 billion when the Auditor General audited 8.5 billion.
Thank you, Honourable Musasses, Minister for Finance.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I take note of the concerns of my colleagues, Honourable Gonzaga Sewungu and Honourable Patrick Osave Nsamba, Oshave. Mr. Speaker, I have just laid the papers here, and you have referred them to the responsible committee. Mr. Speaker, procedurally, I expect now to be invited to the committee to present details of the justification, the numbers, and all the concerns the members have, together with other concerns which will arise from our engagements with the committee. Mr. Speaker, I undertake that I will present all the information required to the committee. I expect the committee to make its observations, and also when I come to justify at consideration of these reports, I will justify further to allay the concerns of the members so that we move in harmony. But Mr. Speaker, most importantly is that we want to achieve transparency in the way we do things. And in order to achieve this, I want to undertake that if the House can accord me a slot, I can come here to specifically respond to the issue of how our taxpayers can access the waivers, because it's a concern which keeps coming. I want a businessman from Kasanda who does not know any of us to come to our systems and be able to access a waiver like any other person who is known to us who are able to recommend waivers. Mr. Speaker, I submit, and I undertake that the House bears with me. When we come back to discuss, I will give full details and also respond to questions which members have raised, and also other questions which you have not raised, but out of my experience, which I feel are of a concern to this House and the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister, whenever you are ready. Okay? Whenever we want business from you, so please, even if you have it tomorrow, we shall give you space on the order paper. So whenever you're ready, we shall grant you space. And Honourable colleagues, I think this is even, by the way, now we have a chance to ask these questions, because you remember previously, it was the minister having final powers until we amended the Tax Procedures Code Act, where we said no, the final approval should come from Parliament. And I think Honourable Msasizi was the chairman for Finance Committee. He's the one who pushed for that. So
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Maybe on a light note, I am the one who removed the powers from the minister to Parliament, and now here I am. Here I am practicing what I was trying to prevent. But it is good for transparency and to make the public, because we hold these, we do these decisions in trust. It is good for the people who have given us responsibility to have full knowledge of what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item number 4 on the other paper, approval of the verification committee for the by-election of members of the East African Legislative Assembly.
Thank you. Honourable colleagues, as we are aware, our representatives to ARA, Honourable James Kakoza and Honourable Namar Dennis, vacated their seats following their election to the Parliament of Uganda, and we are glad to be having them here. Consequently, their seats were declared vacant by the Speaker of ARA following their assumption of office as members of the Parliament of Uganda. Both Honourable Kakoza and Honourable Namara occupied their seats as NRM flag bearers. The clerk issued a notice for nomination, and nominations closed on 10th of July 2026. Only the NRM, and I want to thank the colleagues for really understanding this, only the NRM managed to nominate 2 members, Mr. Fred Bangumya Rakizi and Mr. Kidiowa Stera. They are the only 2 people, Miss Kidiowa Stera. They are the only 2 candidates who have been nominated by the clerk, and the nominations have already closed. So the rules require that these members be endorsed by the House, but Appendix C of our rules 8.2 requires that we appoint a vetting committee, and that vetting committee has to be approved by this House. And 8.1, yes, and a committee of 20 people approved by this House, so that the members appointed, since they are outside Parliament, they are not from among members of Parliament, they have to be considered and ensure that the requirements of Article 50 of East African Community Treaty is fulfilled. So the Speaker hereby nominates the following members to the committee. Honorable Kateshumbwa Dixon as chairperson, Honorable Muir Paul, Honorable Ngabirano Charles, Honorable Ndezi Alex, Honorable Amede Agnes, Honorable Amanio Dravir Sheila, Honorable Namubiru Rabushija Margaret, Honorable Ofono Opondo Poder, Honorable Brigadier General Gonyi David Robert, Honorable Eunice Otuko Apio, Honorable Adeke Ann Ebaju, Honorable Asimwe Florence Akiki, Honorable Chala Irma Kapel, Honorable Naku Fiona, Honorable Alenyo Marshall Godfrey, Honorable Senteza Richard, Honorable Rokwanga Hirade, Honorable Mugabi Muzari Martin Kisure, Honorable Komakech Christopher, Honorable Akiwanuka Kefa. Honorable colleagues, I now put the question that the verification committee for the by election of members of the East African Legislative Assembly be approved. Those in favor say to the contrary, nay. Aye. The one who has said nay, I heard him saying I will say nay. And I've known him, but he's a good friend of mine. Honorable colleagues, this committee, look, business is going on at Eyara. These are two people. Really, we only need to see whether they qualify to be members of parliament. The issue of gender is even now much more sorted because there were two men. Now we have sent a man and a woman. Okay? Political representation is clear. So this committee should sit tomorrow and report back to the House on Thursday so that we sort out this issue and our colleagues go to work at Eyara. Okay? So tomorrow sit and we close this chapter by Thursday. Ensure you report back by Thursday. Next.
Item number 5 on the order paper, motion for a resolution of Parliament to reinstate parliamentary business that lapsed at the dissolution of the 11th Parliament of Uganda.
Colleagues, as I briefed you on Thursday, the Honorable Commissioner, please do the needful.
Motion for a resolution of Parliament to reinstate parliamentary business that lapsed upon the dissolution of the 11th Parliament. This motion is moved under Rule 58 and 245(2) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Whereas Article 77 of the Constitution of Uganda establishes the Parliament of Uganda and further provides that the term of Parliament shall be 5 years from the date of its first sitting after a general election. And whereas Article 96 of the Constitution provides that Parliament shall stand dissolved upon the expiration of its term, aware that the 11th Parliament was dissolved on the 24th of May 2026, having served its 5-year term. Noting that at the time of the dissolution of the 11th Parliament, there was parliamentary business pending consideration by the House and committees of Parliament. Recognizing that Rule 245(1) of the Rules of Procedure provides that parliamentary business pending before the House or a committee during a term of Parliament lapses upon the dissolution of Parliament. Appreciating that Rule 245(2) and 4 of the Rules of Procedure authorizes Parliament to reinstate by resolution within the first 14 sittings of the first session of the parliamentary business that lapsed upon the dissolution of the previous Parliament. Cognizant that parliamentary business that lapsed upon the dissolution of the 11th Parliament is of vital nature, relating to statutory reports, petitions, and statutory instruments, the consideration and approval of which is a preserve of Parliament. Now, therefore, be it resolved by this House that the following parliamentary business, which lapsed upon the dissolution of the 11th Parliament, be reinstated. 1. The political parties and organizations, inter-party organizations for dialogue resolutions 2025. 2. The annual report of the Auditor General to Parliament for the audit year ended 31st December 2025. 3. The National Planning Authority Annual Performance Report for financial year 2024-2025. 4. Petroleum Fund Annual Report for the year ended June 2025. 5. The 28th Annual Report of the Uganda Human Rights Commission on the state of human rights and freedoms in Uganda in 2025. 6. The Annual Performance Report of the Education Service Commission. 7. Petition by National Sports Officers Association over persistent discrimination of sports officers as non-scientists, lack of structure and inadequate welfare to support sports delivery services of local governments in Uganda. 8. Petition by Uganda Technical and Vocational Trainers Union over continuous neglect of the TVET subsector and the urgent need for parliamentary intervention. 9. Investigation into the destruction of Zoka Forest. 10. Inquiry into complaints by small and medium enterprises on historical leadership and governance challenges at Uganda National Bureau of Standards. 11. Report on a recommendation for a waiver of tax arrears for the new Plan Limited. 12. Report on a recommendation for a waiver of tax arrears for Fresh Cuts Uganda Limited. And finally, 13. Report on a recommendation for a waiver of tax arrears for innovations for poverty action. I beg to move.
Is the motion seconded? Yes, Honorable Kakoza James, Honorable Nambeshe, Honorable Pachito, Dr. Musa Noah, Honorable Chon, Honorable Kanushu, Honorable Kasbat, Honorable Rakojo, Honorable Paparu, Honorable Yeku, Honorable Timugiwe, Honorable Emre Kugonza, Honorable Ndezi, Honorable Babiku, Honorable Rinda, Honorable, but the whole house. No, just in 2 minutes, would you have to justify the motion?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and members for seconding this motion. Right Honorable, the documents are here. When I finish my 2 minutes, I will beg to lay if it's necessary.
No, you don't justify before laying. I thought you had laid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I beg to lay the following. The political parties and organizations, inter-party organizations for dialogue regulations 2025. I lay the consolidated audit report for the year ended 31st December 2025. The annual performance report of the National Planning Authority for the year 2024-2025. The Petroleum Fund annual report for the year ended 30th June 2025. The Uganda Human Rights Commission 27th annual report on the state of human rights and freedoms in Uganda in 2024. The annual performance report for the Education Service Commission 2024-2025. The Uganda Technical and Vocational Trainers Union petition on the continuous neglect of the TVET subsector and the urgent need for parliamentary intervention. The same. the National Sports Officers Association of Uganda on a petition against the persistent discrimination of sports officers as non-scientists in Uganda. The letters for tax waivers on the areas of New Plan Limited, the waiver of the outstanding tax areas for Fresh Cuts Uganda Limited, the waivers for tax areas of the Innovations for Poverty Action, and the write-off of the tax by Klembe Mines Limited.
So, those different documents refer to the relevant committees, because it's business we are reinstating. Let them go back to the committees where they were. Clerk, you will extract for each and your guide accordingly. Yes, Honorable Chirumira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In the 11th Parliament, the Honorable Asman Basarirwa was here seeking leave for Parliament to introduce a private member's bill with regards to the Kadhi courts. So the clarification I'm seeking from the mover is whether that matter was also put in consideration. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the 13 matters that I have presented are the ones that in the wisdom of the Business Committee, they considered them a priority. The others maybe can come later, since we still have the grace period.
You see, Honorable colleague, a motion which is not yet considered here for seeking leave cannot be reinstated. Okay, it is just still on the order paper. Leave is not yet granted. Okay? So, but also even for those bills where a member had already moved that much, any member can come and take them up, okay, and reintroduce them. So I would encourage you, if you're interested, this can be one of the issues you can take up as a member. You come, we grant you leave, and you continue the business.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Bigaros, in the same.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, West Nile victims who suffered loss during the Konyu attacks in the national park, and also Sudan, was raised in the 11th Parliament. Two, the tobacco farmers were to be compensated, and this was not completed. I would kindly beg this be part of the business that is to be shifted to the 12th Parliament. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Not all the business of the 11th Parliament that was not done is in this motion, because some of those businesses can actually come through the members. The businesses that are here were those that were captured in our order paper of the 11th Parliament and were not dealt with. So there are some petitions that had not even appeared in our order paper. The members can still support the people of Uganda to bring those petitions, and they will be considered. Thank you. Right Honorable, the justification.
Sorry, Commissioner, for being given a hard time and being interrupted. Just allow me.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Uchen Geoffrey, Member of Parliament for Kyoga North in Amalata District. Sub-Rule 1 and 3. Right Honorable Speaker, as you may recall, a bill was not concluded in the 11th Parliament. and the President didn't assent to, and brought back some section for reconsideration, wouldn't it be procedural right to be considered under unfinished business of the 11th Parliament? Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, please, the business under Article 91 of the Constitution is totally different from business under Rule 245 of our Rules of Procedure. Rule 245 does with business which is before the House. Okay? So these are bills we didn't finish. These are petitions we didn't finish. But then business under which the President recommits to the House is business which the House had completed. In fact, when we are communicating to the President, we don't send him a bill. We send an act. He assents to an act. Okay? Then once he returns back, is when we reconsider. So Honorable colleague, it can't be the same, because under Rule 245(3), which you're referring to, it means it's a fresh reference. We have to start afresh from the beginning. But here you are only limited to only the clauses which the President referred to. You can't open up any other clause in the law. Guidance, Honorable Muiru.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, given your guidance on business under Article 91, this takes me to there are bills which Parliament passed into Act, forwarded to the President for assent. And despite the fact that take note for any of the bills which might be pending before the President for signature. This is very important for us to be able to do our work. Honorable colleagues, why don't we move? Honorable Masab, okay, you're the final.
Clause 3. And then Clause 5 tells us Parliament shall within 6 months after the submission of the report. 5 tells us Parliament shall within 6 months after the submission. Tells us Parliament shall within 6 months after the submission of the report referred to in Clause 4 of this article debate, consider and report the report and take appropriate referred to in Clause 4 of this article debate, consider and report the report and take appropriate this month, 2 weeks away from now. So our 29th, which is this month, 2 weeks away from now. So us continuing with it or reinstating it, in my view, would be an illegality which could be challenged. I think the Auditor General would be an illegality which could be challenged. I think the Auditor General would maybe begin afresh the process, and we know when the Auditor General has brought the process, and we know when the Auditor General has brought or when he has laid the process, and we know when the Auditor General has brought or when he has laid
us and begin this work.
Oh, who is barred from debating? Okay? Oh, who is barred from debating? Okay? And controlled by Rule 86 of our rules of procedure on anticipation, I cannot really move quickly. So I allow the debate to take place, and then I guide if such a matter of the law comes up. Okay? So just let's first allow a member, she justifies why, despite all the legal provisions, she's moving that we have all this back on table. And then I'll guide after.
Thank you, Right Honorable. I'll begin with that one which Honorable Karim has raised on the matter of the Auditor General's report for the accounts of government for the financial year 2024-2025. The reason we are reinstating this in the House is to give this House the privilege to review the Auditor General's recommendations so that we can inform policy, so that we can guide government, so that we can see what the money did, so that we can see the loopholes in the excesses of government. It is good for the country. Remember, this financial year I'm talking about is a year when our national budget leap jumped from 52 trillion to 72 trillion. It is not something we will sweep in the carpet and allow it to pass by time when we made a significant change in the volume of the budget of this country. So it is for the good of this parliament and the good of this country that the relevant committees look into the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2024-2025. One of the other issues that I have listed here is on the petroleum fund. Just before I rose up to raise this motion, the Minister for Finance laid another report of the petroleum fund for this House to receive and review. The petroleum fund, given the materiality of the things therein and the risks involved, it's a report that this House cannot just say, let it go by events. It's important that we look into it. You are very aware that sometime last year, this House allowed a drawing from the petroleum fund for the construction of the Oima Stadium. You don't want to look into it. You need to look into what the money did, how the fund is moving. Otherwise, we will be having a fund without seeing what is in it. So it's very, very important. One of the other businesses that we will reconsider here, if you allow reinstatement, is on the petitions. Two of them are petitions from distinguished associations and unions of our people. The other is a complaint. As you are aware, members, in our Rule 31, petitions are one of those critical means in which the public can communicate to government through us. It is how they present their grievances and their matters. So for us to let these petitions just slide without a resolution of the House is a breach of our own mandate as the representatives of the people. So, honorable members, we need to consider this with the utmost work that we can give. The other is on the Zoka forest. A few days ago, we were in this House debating about the climate change effects, what we are battling with. Now there is an investigation report into the destruction of the
Just like twins, or the two sides of a coin, Uganda's modern parliament has two main divisions: the government